In this video, we are going back to Photoshop and we are going to learn how to make a selection with the pen tool. I am going to use this image and I just double click on it to open it in Photoshop. And what I would like to do is to make a selection of this nice window. I am going to select the pen tool, and instead of using the shape mode, I am going to keep the pen tool in path mode. So I selected that, and then we can start drawing our path. So I am going to start here on the outside, and I try to follow these lines nicely. So I can probably make a straight line here, and then click and drag like that. Alt click on that part, then click and drag. Maybe move it with the space tool. I can move it a little bit further up, something like that. Then again on the top, click and drag, move it a little bit around. I try to follow these lines here, something like that. Then continue drawing, click there where the curve changes, then click here, then alt click because we need a corner point there. Follow this line, then straight, just simply click, click, then another curve, turn it into a corner point by alt clicking on it. Curve, actually this curve can go a bit further away, like there, then another longer curve, then continue with this curve here, then another curve can go probably all the way up there. Alt click, then create the curve. I try to be symmetrical, and then just a straight one at the end. So more or less this is what I wanted to achieve, and of course we can always adjust a couple of parts like this one. Can go a little bit to the left and up just to make it nicer, the whole selection. Again, we can adjust the curve a little bit here. Also we can do the same thing here. I can adjust it, and just to have a nice equal distance from the edge of that frame. You can do the same thing here at the bottom. I just check all of these points. Probably this one has to be adjusted as well, or something like that. And then move these up a bit and the other part down a bit. So now that I adjusted the path, I can select it with the path selection tool, right click and choose make selection. I can click on OK. So now this is a selection, which means I can drag and create a new layer from this. So I can go to layer, new layer via copy. So now I have a separate layer, and I can even turn off the background. So I can move this around, I can duplicate it by alt clicking on it, and I can create a whole pattern out of this. Or I can just go back simply and have the selection, and with the selection I can go to adjustments and just choose any of these adjustments, maybe the hue saturation, and then I can change the colors of this window easily without changing all the other parts of the image. Because whenever you create a selection and you add an adjustment layer, the selection is turned into a layer mask. So that's all I wanted to show you in this tutorial. But in the next one, I am going to again use the pen tool in Photoshop also to separate elements from its original surrounding. But in this case, we are going to create a vector mask.